It's the big one of the Cape summer season, the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. Kommetdieding goes for back-to-back wins, whilst Jet Dark will be looking to level the score and upstage his rival this time. They take on the smart youngsters, Cousin Casey, who swept all before him over champion season last year, and Make It Snappy, bidding to become only the second 3-year-old filly to win in race history. The Cape Summer has seen the rise of Charles Dickens and the filly Make It Snappy. She's beaten the likes of Equus Horse of the Year, Captain's Ransom, as well as Grade 1 Wollavington winner Silver Darling, Hollywood Bets Durban July winner Sparkling Water, and Wilgeborstrift Triple Tiara winner Rain in Holland.
But Make It Snappy went all of the way!
It takes a filly of exceptional class to win the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. Brett, Make It Snappy. Can she do it?
Look, Michelle, she's a top filly. I mean, I don't think I've trained many 3-year-old fillies that have achieved what she's done in 5 starts. So I'd have to say yes, I believe she can. I think she's got a fantastic galloping weight. She's stepped up every time we've given her a harder task. She's had a wonderful preparation leading up to Saturday. She's got the draw on her side. So obviously we understand it's a big task, but I think if ever there's a time to run with that type of weight with 51.5 on your back, it's now. She's in good form, she's in winning ways, and as I said, preparation is key, and she's really had an exceptional one. So yeah, we're very happy with her.
In the last 25 years, 5 fillies have done so. O Susanna, Smart Call, Igugu, River Jetes and Imperious Sue. This year sees 4 fillies line up, headed in the market by 3-year-old Make It Snappy. She's following the same route as O Susanna and Smart Call, who also won the Cartier Paddock Stakes prior to landing the big one.
It's Jet Dark who comes forward to pick it up from...
Jet Dark comes into the race having won the Cape Mile in November.
Jet Dark draws away to win from Silver Upright.
Before showing he's on track with a good run in the Lomeron's King's Plate.
He takes the lead. Matano won't go away. Charles Dickens, Matano very close. Jet Dark got going late, and then came Kommetdieding.
He may not have kept his unbeaten record in that race, but the last 3 winners of the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met have all come out of the King's Plate having run places rather than having won. Justin, if Jet Dark is going to win the Met, is this the year for him to do it?
Well, I hope so. He could be retired after this. So this is hopefully the swan song that everyone hopes for, and I haven't really seen it much in racing. I think if I had to say, Sea Cottage probably ended the way he wanted. He won by half the racecourse in his last start. This is very much his last race, so I really hope that he finishes off in the manner that he started his career. So he's doing very well at home. Everything's going spot on. We didn't have the best prep into the King's Plate. Unfortunately, he had a stumble on the track just before the Green Point Stakes, and I had to scratch him. So we came in a little bit underdone, unfortunately, and he didn't quite run to his what I think he's capable of. But I do think come Met Day, you'll see the best of him.
Draws 4 and 8 have been most successful in the past 25 years of the race, with winners O Susanna, Pocket Power, Polo Classic and Bunter Barlow having all jumped from Gate 4, and Whiskey Baron, Smart Call, Futura and Pocket Power again from Gate 8. This year sees Jet Dark drawn 4 and Do It Again drawn 8. Winner of the race last year, Kommetdieding, looks set for another tilt at the crown. He put up 2 good recent runs in the World Sports Betting Green Point Stakes,
Universal and Kommetdieding in a photo for 2nd and 3rd.
and Lomeron's King's Plate.
He takes the lead. Matano won't go away. Charles Dickens, Matano very close. Jet Dark got going late, and then came Kommetdieding.
Michelle, how is Kommetdieding this year compared to last year coming into the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met?
Michelle, he's coming into this race definitely more mature horse than what he was last year. Finally, he's reached that maturity level that I think will suit him for a race like this. It is a competitive race this year, as in last year, but a much bigger field. And, with that maturity, he'll definitely be a lot more focused on what needs to be done on Saturday.
The draw?
Well, I think Ashwin's got a direct line to God because we sat at the draws and he says we'll draw 6 and that's the number we wanted and it's the number we got, so we couldn't be happier with that.
What do you make of the field?
It's good. It's good to see full fields like this. It's good to have horses on the course and I think it's going to be a great day's racing.
Can he do it again?
He definitely can.
Cousin Casey starts to lengthen and
Cousin Casey made headlines last year when winning 4 graded races on the trot. A well-deserved rest saw him back out in the Cape to win the Cape Punters Cup over a mile in November.
Cousin Casey wins it.
Cousin Casey's had a great prep going into this year's World Sports Betting Met. It's his third run after the layoff. Much has been spoken about the weight for age with the 3-year-olds. I think he's got an outstanding chance in the race. In fact, I think both 3-year-olds have an outstanding chance. I think that Brett Crawford's fillies, she gets a 2.5 kilo allowance. And I think those are the two that the old horses have to be worried about. I think that both the 3-year-olds have got top form. You can't ignore Jet Dark. Jet Dark is a cracking colt, as is Kommetdieding. But I think that they're both in their place. I think that they haven't got room for improvement. They're running where they are running, and the 3-year-olds are definitely turning up the heat. His prep's been flawless. Going into the Guineas, we had a slight hiccup where he cast himself in the box 8 days out. And although it was only menial scratches, he still had to go and cover antibiotic, and it wasn't an ideal situation. And I just think we just got unlucky in the running. We had to weave our way through. But I think over the 2,000 meters, his mother is a full sister to Big City Life, Vercingetrix. I mean, he stayed the trip. I have no doubt with stamina issues. I think he's definitely the horse to beat, and I think our biggest opposition is going to be the filly from Brett Crawford, the Hollywood filly. Make It Snappy.
Sparkling water.
Gauteng Raider Sparkling Water is no stranger to Hollywood Bet's Kenilworth. She won the Grade 3 Western Cape Stayers at this race day last year. Having gone on to win the Hollywood Bet's Durban July, she then made her 2023 Cape debut in the Cartier Paddock Stakes, went 2 lengths off Make It Snappy.
All of the way. Then came Sparkling Water.
I smell Khumalo bling bling. Obviously I'm riding Sparkling Water 2023 World Sports Cape Town Met. The filly is doing quite well. She in a good space. We've done a nice gallop with her recently, and I'm quite happy and pleased where she is. And she won the July, and hopefully this is her time to shine. We got the weight for age. She's in good space. I think Mr. Dickhock has done a great job. And to all Sparkling Water followers, whoop whoop.
The Adam Marcus-trained Universal looks spot on with his runs in the World Sports Betting Greenpoint Stakes and Antonage Rupert Wine Premier Trophy, where he finished on top of the winners Trip of Fortune and Rascallion. Adam, could you have Universal any better coming into this race?
I couldn't be happier with him. He's had a lovely season so far. He started off in a 1200 as a comeback run, then he stepped up to the mile, and I was happy with his last run. It didn't quite work out to plan, but obviously stepping up to the 2000, he's run second in the Derby behind Pomp and Power, so he's produced over the course and distance, and I couldn't be happier with him. His condition is beautiful. He's kept his condition after that last race. He's moving well, so from my side it's been a very smooth preparation.
Ricky Maingard stunned the Kenilworth crowd when 80-1 Matano came home in fine style to win the Lomorans King's Plate.
Matano won't go away. Charles Dickens, Matano, very close between Matano and Charles Dickens.
It was deja vu for Maingard, who won the race with Wolf Power nearly 40 years before. And to cap it all, the Mighty Grey went on 3 weeks later to win the J&B Met, as it was known at that time. Ricky, can we expect another amazing performance from Matano when we come to the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met?
Well, the horse has taken the King's Plate very well. He's done everything asked of him. The horse is, I think, at his best right now. He's got a fantastic jockey on board. Not a bad draw for him because he comes from behind anyway. I hope he gets a free run coming into the straight. And I think he'll run a great race.
Vaughan Marshall has worked wonders when Rascallion won the Antonage Rupert Wine Premier Trophy earlier this month. It was his third run after having been out of racing for almost a year.
Kept going. Rascallion won it. Very close behind that.
How has Rascallion come through his recent win?
Yeah, Michelle, he's come through very, very well indeed. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. He had a long layoff, obviously it was about a year, but he's come back strong and he's done very, very well. So, we are very optimistic, but unfortunately drawn 17 is not in his favour, so we're just going to have to play it by ear, but he himself is very, very well.
Marina is the 10-time winning full sister to Vodacom Durban July winner Marina Resco. She's followed the same route into the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met as she did last year, where she finished 5 lengths off Kommetdieding. How well is she coming into this year's race?
Oh, look, she's very well, Michelle. Her last run in the Paddock Stakes was a disappointing run. But I think off a slow pace and having to come, from off the pace, she doesn't really enjoy that. She's a filly that enjoys a pace, and she's got a good turn of foot when there is a pace. So she's always a little bit tricky when it comes to that sort of thing. Her brother was much the same. He raced exactly the same way. So it's never really easy when you're running down here in Cape Town and there just isn't much pace. And looking at the Medfield again this year, there doesn't look like there's going to be a huge amount of pace either. So. Look, she obviously will prefer the extra ground. She's the kind of filly I think that would go 2, 4 and more. So, the extra 200 metres will be of help. The other, positive factor is that she's got a good draw this year. She's always drawn wide, so, that's a big help for her. I think, this time we could, be in the race a little bit more than having to try and come from way off the pace. So, as far as her well-being is going, she's in good shape, and obviously we're hopeful that we could either, finish in the money. We'd be very happy if we could get a place in the Met.
The most successful trainers in the last 25 years of the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met are all represented in this year's race. Bass Racing sends out Marina, Mike de Kock saddles Sparkling Water, Brett Crawford has a double in Make It Snappy and Zapatillas, and Eric Sands pins his hope on Golden Ducat. Another to have returned from a lengthy layoff in November is Golden Ducat, having shown form in the Cape Mile and World Sports Betting Greenpoint Stakes. More was hoped in the Lomeran's King's Plate, where he finished down the order.
He didn't have a good prep going into the Queen's Plate, and it did set him back. I was disappointed with the Queen's Plate run. We've changed a few things since then. We fitted blinkers, and I really hope I've got him back again, the great horse that he is for Saturday.
That's wonderful. And draw 1?
Draw 1 is always better than draw 18, but from draw 1 you've got to think about 17 other horses on your outside and what's going to come across and what's not going to come across and what wants to be up there and not. My tactics we'll discuss with my jockey Christoph closer to the times.
At 8, Do It Again is remarkable as he lines up for his 5th World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. He always runs an honest race and jumps from a favourable draw.
He has become a little bit in and out, but I say that, just this one race that he keeps running in every year, he runs badly in, which was I think it's the Premiers. Last year he was 6-10 and it got rolled, but then came back to run 4th in the Met. So he's doing exceptionally well at home. He's what people must know is yes, he's racing at 8 and Y guys, he loves this. He bucks past my office every morning. He is the soundest horse, touch wood, he's the soundest horse I've ever trained. He loves it. He's here right with me every day. We take him to the beach all the time. He lives in a paddock in the afternoons with a mate of his. So how can you have a better life than that? So, and every now and again you go out and race. So he's doing really well. Everything's spot on. I think beautiful draw at 8. Very fortunate. So Bernard can give him a bit of a chance, and last time he went far too, even Bernard apologized afterwards. If you see, he went right up to the front early on in the Hollywood Durban July. You remember he went round them at the top of the straight and hit the front too early, and he still ran 4th. So there's still a lot in him, believe it or not, and doing well at home.
Amazing horse.
Unbelievable horse, 1 in a million.
Bernard Fade Herb has been the most successful jockey in the last 25 years of the race. Of the top 5, he's the only one riding this year, as Anthony Delpeche is now racing manager for Hollywood Bets. Anton Marcus is sidelined due to injury, and Glenn Hatt and Jeff Lloyd have immigrated. Bernard is aboard number 8, Do It Again. The gallant Nexus has come into his own under Piers Stradum and must be a runner for minor placings in the race.
And Nexus goes on to win the Peninsula from Emily.
Nexus looks to be coming right at the right time.
Yes, and I think we got Pierre off at the right time. Pierre had already confirmed Matano into the Met. So unfortunately, Pierre was already committed. But I like to tease Pierre about it because everything about Nexus seems Pierre is just so well suited to him. So I'm a little annoyed that he's not on the horse because he just has affinity with that horse, which is incredible. And Matano, as I said, Pierre already committed to. So we didn't have that option. So let's see how Muzi gets on.
Yes.
And, he's done nothing wrong up to now. And for the first time in his career, I think he's deserved his place in this race. If he shouldn't be in the race, half the field shouldn't be in. So gutsy, beautiful individual, one of those old relics from the dynasty era, and they were always very hard to beat. So just hoping for a good positive run and have some fun with him.
Supplementary entry along with Nexus was Warrior. He earned a place when finishing just over half a length behind Rascallion in the Antonage Rupert Wine Premier Trophy.
If you like the horse that won the race last time that they were all in, he's now better off at the weights. He was flying at the finish. Another few strides he gets there.
Yeah.
So, these are the big races, and as you saw with Matano at 60 to 1, 50 to 1, you never know. So, very interesting runner, but obviously to win a race like this would be very hard. But doing well at home, and we're always looking for the upset.
Linebacker was 3rd in the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met last year. We asked Vaughan how close he is to that form again.
Jet Dark and Linebacker in a photo.
Michelle, I think he's better than he was last year. He's peaked at the right time. He's had 2 prep runs in very, very good company. He's had 3 grass gallops at Kenilworth, so he's fit, and Corner is very, very happy with him. The last 2 weeks he has come on tremendously, so there again the draw is going to play a huge part. He's drawn 16, so also not in his favour, but let's hold thumbs and hope for all the luck.
Winner of the World Sports Betting Guineas in KZN last season, Zapatillas, was off the track for 7 months before returning in December and January.
He's having to dig down deep. He comes forward. He takes the lead. Matano won't go away.
Unfortunately, he hurt himself before the July, and he'd been off for a long time. So, he's had the 2 runs back now. Both runs he's obviously needed. He's now his 3rd run back, which he should be in peak fitness. He's done exceptionally well. He looks amazing. It's obviously it's a big task at the ratings, but I think he is one of the few horses in the race that can improve. He's very likely raced, and as I explained, he's coming back off 3rd run off a break now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him make his presence felt. That's for sure.
As a previous Grade 1 winner over the course and distance, Pump and Power is undoubtedly talented, but he'll need to settle to show his best ability.
Well, look, it was just Durban. He never got over it. He had a bad experience in Natal. He had no problems up to then. I mean, his last run in the Western Cape was winning the Derby. But then had some bad experiences, and it's taken me a long time to get him back. Got him back now to being well behaved and being okay. So I'm not concerned about that. It flattened him in his last 2 starts. He was flat as a pancake, and I think I've got him a little bit back to where he should be, but from a 19 draw, very hard. He's going to have a lot of luck in running and a lot of things to go his way.
Having his first run for Ricky Maingard is Waterbury Lane. As dual-graded stakes winner over 1,400 metres, he's shown to go the Met trip when finishing 2 lengths behind Safe Passage in the Grade 1 Daily News 2000 last year.
And Waterbury Lane.
We asked Ricky about his work coming into the race.
He's been working very well. He's a horse that I bought to go to Mauritius, in fact, but he never got an import permit, so we're running him in the Met, taking our chances, and he's very well. He's a lovely horse. I think he'll be a super horse for Mauritius. He's shown his limitations here, you know, being 3-4 lengths behind the best horses. Let's hope he runs a good race.
No winners have come from draws 3, 5, 10 and 11 in the last 25 years. This year looks to Marina, Sparkling Water, Zapatillas and Waterbury Lane to change that record.
Rain in Holland's going to add her name to the history books.
Rain in Holland is an exceptional filly, having reeled off 4 graded stakes wins in a row last year. A 6-month break has seen her yet to reproduce that form.
Well, obviously she had a procedure after last season's triumphs. Took her a few runs to get back into it. Obviously we tried a tongue tie as well, which didn't work. And I think she's in sparkling form at the moment. Her prep's gone really, really well. And yeah, as we saw in the Queen's Plate, when you write off Group 1 winners, the public are suddenly stunned when one of the best Group 1 winners of last season comes and wins another one. So yeah, a nice 70-1 chance. Don't leave her out.
The draw?
I've got to contend with a draw. I wouldn't have handpicked 15, obviously. We'll deal with it.
Pete and Albertstein send out dual-graded stakes winner Gem King. He showed good speed in the Cape Merchants before finishing 6 lengths back to Rascallion in his last outing.
Nexus is coming home hard into the closing stage as the line comes.
It's Gem King working from the 800 on the middle light track. He's doing nice work. I'm happy the way he's working. Not an easy race. Being drawn 18, very competitive field, but I'm hoping for a good run.
What do you make of the Met field this year?
Exceptionally strong, I think. I think Jack Dark will be a very hard horse to beat. He got mishaps before the King's Plate where he fell in a training gallop. Must have been very hard for the Snaith to get him into the race, let alone try and win. He ran a very good race. I think he's a horse to beat, and the 3-year-olds obviously, they come very lightly weighted, and they're both very, very good horses. So there's other horses not to be left alone anyway. So it should be a great race.